look, you can see there might be segments on this stick. That's why I say I compare it to bamboo. But it's a rod or a stick. And why is it there?
Yeah, it's amazing that it has preserved itself in that very fragile form as a stick, a long stick, especially on a surface that is so harsh and everything kind of breaks down, and it's all rust, and so it's very interesting that that shape, a very thin, long stick-like thing, just leaning on a piece of rock. It's fascinating that it has survived.
Yes. And there's also a strange sort of like sheet metal parts lying at its base that also seem to be out of place. But look, yeah, that could be stone slate lying there.
Yeah.
But that too looks highly unusual. But that stick, it's I don't know, it's literally a needle in a haystack. Or a sore finger sticking up out of the surface there.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And then another curiosity, a rover photograph shows a sort of a rectangular, multi-sided or faceted object that looks almost like a sarcophagus, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's got a very geometric shape. It's got a ridge line that runs across the top at a 90-degree angle to the one side.
Yeah.
It's almost cut like in a diamond shape.
Yeah.
But that too doesn't look like a typical rock or boulder, in my opinion.
Looks like a Cybertruck.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
A wreckage.
Or like a nuclear submarine.
Yes,
You know.
those stealth ships.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's a cool observation.
Yeah. Whoa.
And then
That.
this is on the right. We're looking at another rover curiosity photograph here of what looks like rusted sheet metal. I've got an insert in this picture showing what rusted sheet metal looks like, pardon me, on Earth. And if you look at the way the rust chips away,
Yeah.
it looks very similar to the way that the material photographed on Mars chips away as well. So this looks like a structure that was covered in cement or plaster-like material. It's eroded away, exposed this potential metal, and it started eroding away. Just like rust would do on Earth.
Yeah.
Got layers here as well.
Yeah. That.
Parallel layers.
Yeah.
Fascinating. Could it be mineral deposits inside softer material? The softer material eroded away and then left the mineral deposits? Maybe. We need to go there and stay next to this thing, break a piece off and see what it is.
Yeah.
And there's another fragment that looks metallic. It's got like a L shape to it. It's uniformly thick. It's got a 90-degree angle, and some parts of it have either broken off or rusted away. Behind it is also a strange rectangular part. But I don't know how anything like this would form in nature. What What do you think, Adnan? Is that an anomaly?
It sure is. I mean, look at it.
It looks like a frame,
It does. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
a part of a frame. Very
Yeah.
cool. Can you
Very.
imagine if you collected this piece, what it would be worth here on Earth?
Oh man, like, I've seen some really cool auctions for space,
Wow.
like space asteroids, Mars rocks. Oh man, like that's the thing that this is the thing that I don't think people understand, that if you get to Mars, you can create some sort of value and some monetary system, which is information system of exchanging information, transaction. The value of that is gonna be just ridiculous, right?
Mm,
And
mm,
that's the thing, you can just show up and say, well, I own Mars, and I'm the government on Mars, and it's worth multi gazillion dollars, and it's worth, 1 million times more than Earth, because we've got all these crazy things that you can use for military purposes, for intelligence, for science, for technology. You can do this, you can do that. It's just going to blow everyone's mind in a new dimension that most people can't handle, I think.
yes. One one thing that does concern me a bit is, look, if there was a civilization on Mars and it died a horrible death, I think that civilization needs to be treated with some level of dignity, maybe. And I hope that they respect the history, the potential rich history on Mars, by
Yeah.
looking after these artifacts, by
Yeah.
being good, overseers of this stuff, and that it isn't really just abused and destroyed and
Yeah.
whatever. You know what I mean? But I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, there's going to be things there that you can salvage and possibly sell, but as long as you treat the potential civilization that once thrived on Mars with respect that it deserves, then why not? Yeah.
You would hope so. So far, I don't think there's a lot of people showing any respect to what's on Mars. And that narrative is probably driven by this idea that there is nothing on Mars. And it's just rocks, and there was never any ancient civilization, and there's no evidence of this. There's no evidence of that. That's, and we know that in human history, people have intentionally destroyed history in ways to recreate it and rewrite it. You think about, like, during World War II, Hitler destroyed a lot of history and a lot of things.
Books
You
were
look,
burnt,
yeah,
yeah.
you look at the Colosseum. The Vikings came into the Roman Empire and destroyed a lot of the things. They destroyed the Colosseum, the half of it. It's still standing, and there are good people in the world who preserve those things. They have an interest on those things, and I think when we get closer to being on Mars, or we are on Mars, I think there will be a lot of pressure by people in making sure that we preserve Asian civilization and structures, and we keep them as historic things on Mars, and we don't just go and build on a lot of stuff without, excavating, understanding, and creating room for scientists to study. So I hope there's a mixture of, I think there's going to be cycles, for a period that everybody's interested in, the fact that we've got there. Then there's a period that there's going to be a political war between, who's going to be there, how we're going to build structures, laws, what are we going to recognize, who's the government, who runs the show on Mars. And then there's going to be a layer of scientific discovery, research, more flights, scientific archaeologists going on Mars and discovering things and learning things, YouTubers. There's just going to be layer and layer and layer of this for the next, 100 years.
Yeah, and just like I guess here on Earth, you get those that will preserve these things, document them, uh, put them in museums of sorts, and then you'd get those that will sell these things off as artifacts at auctions and things. I suppose you'll get that there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right, Adnan. Yeah,
But
we're looking at sorry, continue.
no, you go for it. Yeah.
Okay. Here's a rover curiosity photograph of megalithic blocks and slabs that look very similar to those that you'd find in Pumapunku. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. If you go to Pumapunku, there's all these megalithic blocks and slabs lying all over the place. Here we're looking at something very similar. There's one block in the front, in the foreground. Then there's a huge slab towards the middle on the background. And right there in the background is another block with a sort of a ridge. What do you call that? Like a relief cut on it? What do you call
Yeah.
that? Like a bevel.
Mm.
And then to the right there in the top right, is another block that you can barely make out. But this looks like a site that you'd find here on Earth, in the desert, with these blocks scattered about, some broken, some intact. But yeah, fascinating. Absolutely a beautiful place.
Yeah.
Then this is from Blue Planet Red, Brian's documentary.
Yeah.
Tim
Yeah.
Saunders
Yeah.
built a 3D model of this weird anomaly that looks like it has a hatch on it, and on the one side a pipe sticking out.
Yes.
And this is when he spoke about testing metal in various environments, and then in a similar Martian environment, how it would erode. And he says this is what it would look like. So that there could be a piece of metal that just eroded or corroded away.
Yeah.
But look at that strange pipe sticking off the one side at 90 degrees. What sort of process in nature puts a round pipe on the side of a thing that looks like it has a hatch on it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, Brian did such a good job of covering that in his documentary, and he talked about it on my podcast. And the 3D recreation of that was so fascinating to watch. To the amount of evidence that these people, researchers, go into in discovering, what's on Mars. It's not just looking at image and going, oh, look at this. This looks interesting. It's not that. It's actually very backed analysis with science and evidence, which is very fascinating. And that's one thing we should do more of. We should replicate the stuff that we see on Mars, on Earth, and really, get into the details of, what material we're dealing with, what material is on Mars, and re-engineer these things into new technology and things that can, do much more greater things, whether it's strength or, the size of structures we can build from these materials. And that really fast tracks the research that we can do, and we can target the specific things we should be prioritizing to study on Mars when we get there.
Yeah, I know that could even be a turret. Who knows, eh?
Yeah.
I've actually spent a lot of time recreating these anomalies in 3D models in Adobe Dimension. Because what's nice about these high-rise photographs is that they give you the elevation angle of the sun at the time of when the photograph was taken. You can work out from the shadow length how tall the thing is. You've got pixels per centimeter to measure the item, so you can actually go and replicate it in a 3D model. And I've got dozens and dozens of these things that I've recreated in 3D models, all available on my YouTube and on X. And
Yeah.
I've actually created a game called Mars Explorer
Oh, cool.
in Unreal Engine 4,
Yeah.
where you, as a visitor to Mars, explore Mars and you discover all these artifacts, and you can actually view them as if you were really there on Mars at the exact shape and size that they would be if you were on Mars.
Yeah, it's really cool.
We can have a look at that towards the end of the podcast if there's still time.
Yeah, I mean, are you done with the presentation? You have more things to go through?
Not much. I'm about 95% done, 96%
Yeah,
done.
well, let's wrap it up. It's been super fun. Well, I think we've been talking for 3 hours now, or a bit short than that. So let's wrap it up, and then you can tell everybody where they can find more of your content and share with us your YouTube channel. Go for it.
Sure. All right. Just before we do, yes, that famous metal pipe.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, that looks totally out of place as well. So
does.
it's not a cone, it's slightly covered in sand, like it's lying in a
Yeah.
small dune.
And
But anyway,
this is a rover image on Mars.
yeah,
It looks like a cylinder. It could be like an underground opening. Could be wreckage, metal-based wreckage, but it doesn't fit in that image, and it feels very much out of place.
okay. Adnan, do you want to continue with the presentation, or are we calling it here?
Up to you. If you want to show more things on the images, let's do that. If you want to wrap it up, we can wrap it up as well.
Okay, let's see. How many slides have I got left? We're basically right at the end. There's about 6 slides remaining.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we're looking at 2 wheels.
Yeah.
The one in front,
Yeah. Huh.
perfectly circular in shape. It looks like it's uniform in thickness, like a wheel you'd find on a train coach. And then
Yeah.
in the middle of it is a brighter circular part,
Yeah.
like where it joins to the axle.
And the color of that object is different to the colors we see around the other objects. Around
Yes,
all
and
the other
it's
objects.
and all the other rocks and boulders have got their regular shapes, except these 2 round discs.
Yeah.
And then this part to the left, it looks like a little totem pole. It's
Right.
like a thin rectangular structure with 4 spherical balls
Yeah.
mounted on the one side in a row, spaced evenly apart. That thing there is about 20 centimeters long.
Interesting.
Oh, and just as a footnote, Adnan, I just want to mention that a lot of these discoveries were actually done by other Mars researchers and not by myself. So I just want to shout those guys out.
Yeah.
If I haven't given their names, it's not because I'm being nasty or anything. It's just, it's so convoluted as to who discovered what and when
Yeah.
that it's sometimes impossible to say who did. So just a shout out to those guys.
Yeah.
A lot of these things I'm just highlighting again in this presentation. Obviously, I've upscaled these with more modern image upscaling software, so they look a little more pristine and the details are just a little more pronounced.
Yeah.
So there's the famous Sasquatch on Mars. People always used to say that looks like a Sasquatch, about 2 meters tall, but it's actually about 12 centimeters in length. It looks like a woman with her arm coming around holding something on
Yeah.
her chest or lap, and
Mm.
then her legs are folded as she's sitting on a smaller rock underneath her.
Interesting. Yeah.
So that there could be natural, but also it
A
looks so
carving.
familiar.
Some form of carving, like ancient, like, you know.
A little statuette, maybe, yeah.
Yeah. Or it's just the odd angle. Could be anything.
Yes, yeah. But
Mm.
that too looks anomalous.
Yeah, it
So it
does.
makes it into the book of Mars anomalies.
Yeah, especially
Right.
especially the piece looks very like the shoulder and the arms and the
Yes.
ankle and the hand looks very similar to a full length arm.
Yeah. And the head slightly tilted over as well.
Yeah.
That's very, very odd. Right. Then we get to a rover curiosity photograph of what appears to be metallic debris.
Yeah.
It's very silver. The objects have got this silver appearance, very smooth. And then as you would rip, a soda can or something, it's got these tears in it,
Yeah.
like you'd see in torn sheet metal. Strange twists
Yeah.
and bends, like it's been blown apart.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a strange item that looks almost like a fossil, really. But if you have a closer look, it's got like a pipe, elbow joint on the one side.
Yeah.
And then it's also ripped.
Mm.
The outer layer's been ripped. Some parts are protruding out, others are bent in.
Yeah.
Where the rips are on this strange, I don't know, what would you call it? Petrol tank?
Yeah.
And then Buzz Aldrin famously quoted, "We've got to go to Phobos. There's a monolith there." Remember that interview in which he said that?
Yeah. Yeah. I do.
If you do analyze the photograph of Phobos, it's a very smooth, flat surface with a couple of depressions here and there.
Yeah.
But to the top north part of that moon, you've got a little rectangular object, and it's about 20 meters wide,
Very shiny.
and it doesn't look like anything else on this
Yeah.
moon.
Looks like
So-
wreckage of some sort.
Could that be the monolith that he was talking about? And
Yeah.
how did he know it was there?
Yeah. Wow.
Fascinating.
Yeah. Very fascinating.
Then we get to a strange anomaly photographed by the rover Curiosity. Joe White discovered this. It looks like a dragonfly.
Yeah. It does. Yeah.
I don't know if there's a part sticking off the bottom that could be moving because it's slightly blurred and
Yeah.
transparent. But it's got a long tail and two smaller, like fin-like parts just behind the head in
Yeah.
the shape of a dragonfly
Yep.
without the wings. Maybe they're there, but we just can't see them.
Yeah.
And that thing could be any size. We don't know how far it was from the rover when this photograph was taken.
Yeah.
And then this, Joe White and myself discovered, it's like a delta-shaped bright object in the Martian sky with a long, narrow beam pointing towards the surface. It looks like it could be a searchlight or it could be a contrail. But it looks like a contrail. Some parts are thinner, some parts are thicker.
Yeah.
And it's got a strange protruding part off to the the left-hand side. I don't know what that is, but it's also highly irregular, not a normal cosmic ray burst or dead pixels. on the
Wow.
CCD.
That looks amazing in the sky like that.
And now we're just looking at a close-up.
Yeah.
Okay, then Mars varnish. On Earth, this strange dark material covering rocks looks
Yeah.
familiar to that strange dark material that covers rocks in the Vegas, Nevada region. Some
Yeah.
petroglyphs have been carved into those rocks here on Earth. I'm
Yeah.
just showing a comparison between the two.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's left by traces of microbial life on Mars.
Yes.
NASA admits it's there, but they don't want to admit what's causing it. They say they need to investigate this further, and results are inconclusive. You know the old story.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And then just the last anomaly that looks like a mangrove horseshoe crab.
Yeah.
It looks like a oiling can as well, and that thing is about the size of a football.
Yeah.
It's got this strange thing sticking off the side like a mangrove horseshoe crab tail.
Yeah.
And with that said, we've reached the end of this presentation.
That's amazing. Thank you for that, John. That was
It's a
just
pleasure.
amazing. There's so much on Mars that you've taken us through in this podcast, and just yeah, man, that's just makes me more excited about Mars. You know.